Tell me when.
Go.
Oh, okay, we're on. Hello. Welcome to Evening Stables on Sunday Live again because it was such a raging success last time. We thought you'd like to talk to me again. Right, Nazzy? This is Nazzy Beck, 4-year-old colt being coltish. And here we go. So, hey, pick up. Well, we are working here. Boy, it's hard to see anything in his box. He is. I'm doing a little bit of box walking today. I'm not sure why that is. Racing has been going on in Deauville. I just checked some results before I came out. Always interesting to see what the group races. But no. The boys put out the shavings and the no horses make any money, which has been sort of the story of our life this year. We've not had a good year. What did we run this week? We went to Deauville with. Went to Deauville with one of the Greek horses, but we knew we had no business being in that race. But that's one of the quirks of racing in France. If you bring in a horse with performance overseas meaning any country other than France.
Your horse is being naughty with the lullaby.
Yes, they do that, and I think Peanut is doing that too. No, did you already open it? You did. You ripped it wide open. You better hope it doesn't rain tonight. Back up. Back. Colts. Don't you love Colts? You can just.
Yeah, one visitor.
He doesn't care. Come on, Nazzy Beck. Who's joined us? Somebody has. Say hello. Hello to you, whoever you are, wherever you're from. If you want to know anything, let me know. Back up. Might want to know why I don't just tie up these horses when I do their boxes at night. Back. But actually, I'd rather not. I'd rather just let them be horses and hope that they behave themselves, pretty much. Huh? And, 3 people. It's growing. Hi, people. Back up, Nez. Nazzy. I think your brother just won something nice to. Oh, no, wait. No, the brother is out of training for the moment. He's related to some really nice horses. He's not one himself, but hopefully he can do something at some point. Yep. Wow. Okay. Cool. Right. Let's go back and talk about the horses we're with. This is Nazzy Beck. He's 4 years old. He has tons of problems. He debuted a winner in England. He had a broken knee after that. Then they fixed the knee and sent him back into training 6 weeks later. Nazzy Beck. His brother is group placed, and his sister is a group winner. He's by Kingman out of a Galileo mare, royally bred. But the reason we have him is because he wasn't solid. He fell to pieces. He was given to us to give another try. We did that, actually. We took a long time to bring him back this year, actually. No, what year? It was last year. Are you 5? God, time flies. And we ran him only once, and he came in with a fractured pelvis. So we fixed that, and the vet came back and had a look at him last week and could not find it. We have a new dog that's being kind of an asshole because we have to teach him everything. He's only 7 months old. Puff, come on.
Puff.
And anyway, so he's fine. He's back in training. I was going to just stop with him, but since he was still here, we just kept going. Give him some hay. So we're bringing him back, and we'll see. We're taking he's ours, so we have no pressure from owners or anything like that. We can just take all the time we want. So we'll see how he holds up and see if he races again. It's an open question. So he's here because he's beautiful and he's beautifully bred, and because I actually couldn't make any other kind of meaningful decision with him. So here he is, getting to meet Prof. Prof was adopted from the SPA, which is the French version of the Humane Society, animal rescue people, yesterday. Don't bark at Moree. Prof is a 7-month-old Doberman, male, thankfully castrated. Hello, Prof. Hello, Prof. You need to learn so many things. Today we learned about chickens and goats and a little bit about cats. I need to learn more about cats. All sorts of stuff. So anyway, if you hear a dog barking, it's Prof. Oh, Jesus. And we need to fix this giant hole in the courtyard too. Right, so moving along. Next on the list is Don Theodoris. Don Theodoris is a 2-year-old colt who came as part of our Greek consignment. What's that, you ask? The hippodrome, the race course in Athens closed this past year, and these horses had nowhere to go. No, Prof. Some of these horses moved to France. So this is one of them. He was in training there. He's in training here. His owner has 3 other horses. Don Theodoris is only 2, has not raced, and actually is too small and backward to really race now, or I'm not sure when. So I've suggested to the owner that we have him gelded and just put him in a field and forget about him for a little while, because he's really just, he can't. My training is pretty easy, which is maybe why my horses aren't in the money maybe as often as they could be. The other reason is that if I train them harder, they will break. But he's going to go off. Prof! Oh, Prof. Come on, guy, turn over because I want to pick up some right now. Come on, turn over. Turn over. Turn. Turn. Go. Hey, turn. You're blocking my view. So, okay. Yep. All right. We're down to 2 again? Oh, wow. We had 39 and now we're down to 2? Come on, guys. All right. Anybody out there have any questions, comments? Why are my boxes so dirty on a Sunday? This is a particularly dirty horse, I gotta say. He has he's not really, he's shit everywhere, and he doesn't have much of a bed left, so I can't take much out. Right, so he's gonna be gelded, hopefully this week. He's gonna go off, be gelded, and have a vacation. Oh, what's in your ear? Oh, he has like come here. He's got scratchy things in his ear. Did you eat everything today? Back up. Back. Good boy. Okay, good. Yeah, your box will be completely empty tomorrow morning. Right, so he and a few... Tim is trying to coach me to say what to do here, but I don't know. We don't really do these live things very often. So if you're tuning in, help us. Tell us what you want to know. Tell us, give us some reaction, questions, comments. Where are you from? How did you find us? Tell your friends. Hit the subscribe button. That's always a good one. We're always supposed to say that, right? Here you go. Here you go, guy.
What will the rest of Sunday be like for the horses? All time?
Stall time. What happens on Sundays is, because the staff is essentially us, we put some out in the paddock. What is he barking at? The goats. We put some out in the paddock. We ride out the horses that are the runners for the week. Let me just save the goats from this dog. Hey, Prof, let's just leave them in peace. You know, you guys, if you just give them a good headbutt. Oh, no. Not you yet. And some stay in their boxes. The ones that don't have a race coming up, the ones that have maybe something a little wrong, that a little stall time might do them good. No, now he's going to bark at Moree. That's a bad idea. And now he's going to go bark at the neighbor's dog. So yeah, they hang out and everybody goes out on Monday morning. Now, that means that on Monday morning, we have to be careful not to go too fast, not to risk horse tying up or anything like that. Although I have to say, my horses, I don't have a big problem with horses tying up, almost never, because we are very, very careful with the feed. Because since they don't really go out on a Sunday, they don't eat very much either. The ones that go in the paddock get like third rations. The other ones that just stay in their box get quarter rations. And the horses that go out that are running this week get fed as normal. E.T., back up. This is Existentialist. She's a 3-year-old colt by Magna Grecia. And he arrived about a month ago. Oh, please move. He arrived about a month ago. And we're still trying to figure out what's wrong and right with him. He has a little bit of some breathing issues. And he came from a trainer that worked him quite hard. So he's a little bit tired. So we've been taking it easy. But hopefully he'll be running in about 2 weeks in Deauville. We'll start him back in a claiming race. And we'll see what he gives us. He's run 4 times for his other trainer. He only was in the money once. But he showed some potential, so we bought him for a very reasonable amount of money. Of course, it's only a reasonable amount of money if he does something, but he was only an 8,000 euro purchase. I should note that over the years, no one has spent much money on horses that we train. I train for small owners. And how much does a racehorse cost? Well, a horse costs, this one cost $8,000 to buy. It costs about $2,000 a month to train and shoe them and cover the basic vet work. So you kind of get what you pay for. As I said, you can buy a racehorse for $10,000, $100,000, or $1 million. And the chances of really doing something are going to be the same. A third will be good. A third will be in the middle that you can't quite get to do better, but they're just kind of okay. And a third will be useless as racehorses. Perhaps lovely horses to ride around on, but useless as racehorses. No guy. So that said, the numbers are the same for any kind of budget of horses. The definition of success is different, right? If we pay $8,000 for this horse and he wins $50,000, that's a good buy. If I pay $100,000 for the horse and he wins $50,000, no, that's not a good return on investment. And if we pay $8,000 for the horse pickup and he's completely useless, the owner didn't take a bath unless you leave them in training too long and they end up costing more money in training than they did to buy, which happens more frequently than Moree. So Moree is eating by broom. So that's kind of why that we play in the claiming ranks and the handicap ranks. We rarely have a horse good enough to run a stakes race, but it does happen. I did win a listed race with a claimer, and we had a little bit more black type with a couple of horses over the years, but it's difficult if you're not going to spend much to buy them in the first place. Okay, bud, now that hay is for other people too. Hey. Okay, Moree. Moree is a really good example of a very cheap horse that's done well. So I'm gonna get you in a second. Moree is a 4-year-old colt bought for 12,000 euros and change in a claiming race in January of January 2023. So a year and a half ago. He won some races. He won 92,000 euros last year, and he's up to 30 something this year. And he'll win more this year because he's just turned into just a really Nice horse. Back up. Up. Shoulder over there, bud. I meant to geld him last year, but every time I wanted to geld him, he made more money and he had another race coming up. And so we just kept going and we never did stop to geld him. The problem right now, though, is that he's had a small break, a couple of small breaks since we've had him, but he's never really had a proper vacation. So he needs to have one of those now. I was going to run him one more time at Clairefontaine in about a week and then send him on vacation. But actually, I rode him yesterday and he needs to go on vacation now. I don't think he would do anything if we ran him in a week. I think it would just be, and in August, he's a big, heavy horse. He doesn't take the heat particularly well. He runs on any ground unless it's a true bog. And so I think the best thing to do is to put him away for a month, let him have some grass and chill, and then come back at it for the fall. And then this year, okay, this is breaking news for anybody watching. We might go to Kenya this year. Back up, back. And if we manage him right now, he will be actually quite a nice horse for Kenya. He's not over handicapped. He runs all his races. He's a good boy. He wants hay. So Tim, can you move? Because I really got to make a dive for the hay wagon here. Up. Okay. And he's a big eater. Back up. But he's such a good example of how a claimer can evolve in the good sense. Because when we claimed him, I mean, he's okay. There's nothing major wrong with him. But his hocks turned out. I mean, he looked okay, but not great, which is why he was in the claiming race in the first place. And he grew up really well. Turned into a really nice horse. Really, really nice horse. Useful horse. And I've got hay in my mouth now. What happens when you have your mouth open? You fill in a hay net. No, he can run anything from a mile to 2,000. Probably better at a mile. He's won at both distances. Oh, I don't actually know why I bother filling the hay net for him, because his first project when I leave is that he pulls everything out of the hay net and throws it on the ground. Right, back up. And he gets to stay with his head out of the box because he's spoiled. Okay, so we're going to go up to the top. And, oh, Peanut has attacked the shavings. Tim is filming and pulling the hay wagon at the same time. Bless him. So that's why the camera work is a little bit shaky right now. Oh, Peanut. Okay. When Tim gets here, he'll show you what Peanut's. Oh, it's a lizard. Cool. Hot enough to have lizards. Peanut also has her head out of her stall. And look, the Lena box got a little too close. And she's had great fun with it. So that we will move out of Peanut reach.
Irene asked which one is he. Is she talking about this one or
this? Peanut. Yeah, this is Peanut. Peanut Royale is 4 years old now. And thank you for coming along, Irene. Again, this will be your Sunday tradition. So Peanut is 4. Peanut just ran in Vichy last week, and
I'm enjoying learning from research.
cool. I'm glad you're here. Peanut I took to Vichy last week, and I should not have done it. Peanut is 4 years old. She's quite low rated now. Last year she won, and she placed a bunch of times, and did okay. This year she.
Two things. Rick asked, do you think they get bored? Horses get bored?
As long as horses have something to eat, they tend not to get bored. Although they do need, I mean, they're working animals and they do need to have a routine that they know something's coming. So as long as they have something to eat, and when the morning starts and the routine starts, they know what's going to happen. Somebody's going to come and put a saddle on them. They're going to go out. They get into their routine, and horses live in the moment, so I don't think they get bored. I think if you put a horse in a field and don't do anything with it, if something can be done with it, they might get bored. On the other hand, they're like us. Some horses are going to love that, and some horses are going to say, I'd rather be doing something. So they have personalities pretty much like we do. Some of them love their work. Peanut, for example, is a good example of that. Peanut is not a particularly talented horse. She's small. Look at how short she is. She's called Peanut because she's small. She's stocky, but she's pony size. And I think this year, I admit I have not particularly managed her career very well. But the thing about Peanut is that though she is of limited ability, she loves what she does. She jumps onto the truck to go racing. You could just see when she's at a race course, she's like, oh, okay, I'm at a race course, cool. And she always tries. This year, she hasn't tried as much. Why? 4 years old is a hard year for fillies because they're running against older horses, which for her, being a small horse, is a challenge. And they also get into their reproductive prime, and that can be a distraction mentally or physically. In Peanut's case, it actually was a little bit of a problem. I'm not a huge believer in excuses that, with mares, but she actually showed us she had almost a colic a couple of times because her ovaries, which if you touch a horse's ovary, it's right about here. And her left ovary was trying to push out a follicle, and it wasn't happening. It must have been a particularly big follicle. And we palpated her with the vet, and we saw that this was a problem. And so we gave her an injection to help push that follicle out. But because it was really bothering her, she would have like spasms of, if you can imagine horrible period pain for the women who ever had that. Luckily, I was always lucky enough to escape that, but that's what she was going through. So I probably should have just put her on vacation because exactly what Peanut has to do is she needs heavy ground, a tight race course like Amiens and Croisy La Roche, and she'll win another race. But we're probably going to sell her to another owner now because she can still race. There's nothing wrong with her, but she hasn't done anything this year. And the owner spent quite a lot of money keeping her in training, and I think that she can go and she'll win again because there's nothing really, unlike most horses that have this, that, and the other thing, nothing really major wrong with Peanut. It's just that she's not particularly big, and she needs the conditions to be perfect for her to win. So she needs to be, just everything has to go her way. And when we went to Vichy, I went because the race conditions were so good for her. It was a really, really, really bad race. Keep your horse in the worst company possible. Except that, move, sweetie. Except that it was stultifyingly hot. I don't know if that's a word. It was like more than 40 degrees, so that's like 100 degrees, and we raced anyway, and she hated it. And the ground, which was advertised as soft when we start declared, turned out to be good by the time we got there. So between the heat and the ground that was too hard for her, she didn't want to play. And that wasn't very nice for her to ask her to do that. So I apologize to Peanut because that was a bad decision on your trainer's part. So we have some potential buyers for her for little money to go race in the easier races and come back to France and race in the fall. But she needs a break now. She needs, that heat took a lot of it out of her, and she needs a month off before she does anything else. Right, Peanut?
Irene was asking not about Peanut, but about the horse before.
Ah, that was Moree. This is starting to go. It's still okay for now. It's airline cable in there, but yeah, it's starting to go. Right. Justacier. This is Irene's horse and John Bell's. Okay. Up. I just stepped on the dog. Justacier is a 3-year-old gelding, claimed a little while ago, and he's been a challenge, as Irene knows. But I'm pretty convinced now that the thing to do with Justacier is to run him on fiber sand, which he hasn't done yet. And we were supposed to run last week, but he got eliminated because the race was oversubscribed, and we got bumped by some priority entries that were eliminated before. So no. He's been, he did that this morning too when I was doing his box. When a horse has a problem, sometimes we focus on the wrong thing. Justacier is really, really back at the knee, and his tendons were pretty ugly in front because of that. But in the end, his tendons are fine. Move over, Beth. Hey. No. Hey. Yes, I know, and he gets very angry when I move him away from that. But you have to go over there. You have to go over there. Thank you. So I've been concentrating on making sure his front legs are okay and the tendons are okay. And the tendons now in the scans are actually really good because we changed the shoeing to help the tendons. But as the law of good intentions, the tendons are great, but his knees, which are a little bit backward, are now a little bit sore. So we went back to the shoes that help the knees, and we're going to leave those tendons alone because he seems okay with that. We've also put on some padding to make his feet comfortable. And that's why I think, too, that fiber sand is the answer here. Back up, guy. Oh, you have to let me throw this away. Yes. Not the hay. He wants to eat the bedding just because he knows he's not supposed to. Yep. Up. Sorry, bud, but you did that yourself. Yep. Oh, don't pin your ears. People are watching. They're gonna think you're not happy or something. Huh? Yeah. I'm gonna give you hay. Oh. Yeah. He's shitting a lot of his hay, so that's wasting hay. Don't waste food. He needs more water. Okay, bud, hold on. Look at that. If it rains, it explodes. Luckily, we should be okay tonight with no rain. Okay. Up. Just checking the manger, making sure he's eating everything there, which he has.
No rain, there must be no outdoor Olympic events.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Good point. Because you know it would pour. Actually, no, the dressage freestyle is today, which I watched some clips of that, by the way. I can't watch passage. It's too painful. It's like watching those quarter horses when they gallop. It's like, let the horse move. Anyway, we're gonna need Tim to get more hay soon. Okay, back up, dude. You got hay. You got water. Life is good. Next on the list is Saxon Village. This is Saxon Village's back shoe. It's off and not on his foot because he's got a little bit of compensation behind on his shoes for his hocks to make him happier. He doesn't have a back shoe because this week he managed to step on a giant screw in his back left foot, and it went right in. And he was lame on it for a couple of days. Obviously, we put him in animal Lintex and we had to look at it. We were lucky in that nothing got infected, but I still didn't like the way he was moving on it at the end of the week. So since Sunday, he can stay in his box. He's supposed to race next week, but I think we might probably miss that. But I had the shoe pulled, and we put hot linseed on it, which I left. I'm going to leave for 48 hours, just in case there's an abscess coming in there. That will help pull it out. So that's why his shoe is there. And tomorrow morning, he will go out one of the last lots so that we can put that shoe back on. Now, Saxon Village is also one of the Greek horses. He's 5 years old and has good performance in Greece, but that doesn't stand up necessarily in France. So because he already ran in another country, he has to run 3 races in France to get a handicap mark. Now, the problem is a 5-year-old horse that's already won a bunch of races somewhere else, no matter if those races are good ones or bad, France Gallo considers every one of those races a class 2 race, which, believe me, they are not. But okay, that's the rule. So we have to, that really limits what we can enter. Most of the cheaper claiming races, all of the cheaper claiming races, are linked to a handicap mark. You have to have a mark of 34 or under, or 27 or under to get into these races. So he doesn't have a mark, can't do that. So then we would look at, well, obviously you can't run handicaps because no mark. Then we'd look at conditions races because that's all we have left, which are classed as class 1, 2, 3, and 4. And the problem is there, because the races he won in Greece are considered class 2. So this is a trainer's nightmare. This is why we don't sleep at night. Where am I going to run this horse? So we have very, very, very few races to choose from. And that's why we end up running horses the wrong distance or against the wrong company. It's not that the trainer is an idiot, although the trainer might be an idiot. We have no choice. So we have one class 2 race all the way down in La Teste de Bouc, which is, or Bouche, or however the hell they pronounce it, way on the other side of France. But it's the only non-claiming race he can get into. The owner doesn't really want to run him in a claimer. That's their choice. But that means we have to travel, and we have to run a race that we are not likely to have a chance of doing much in. It is kind of the right distance, but it's a little bit too long for him. And now that he's fucked his foot up, now that he's screwed his foot up, he might not make that race anyway. And this will be the end of the hay. So hopefully I can make the race because we don't have many other choices. As a matter of fact, we have no other choices. So I'm going to do everything I can so that he makes that race. On est en train de faire un live de YouTube. Up. So I'm out of hay. Do you want to wrap it up, or do you want to? So we have some visitors, so we're probably going to let you go. We can tell you about the other horses and the champions that they will win next week on Sunday. This week we are running Revamp, another one of the Greek horses. He's got some good performance. This horse is running all over the place. He's a cool horse, and he has an entry that actually might not be too bad for him. So that's good because he has a handicap mark, so we can do more with him. This is another one of our Greek horses, Rival Order. He just came this week. He's a lovely horse. He looks, yeah, he's a 4-year-old, nicely bred by showcasing out of a Siuni mare. Won everything in Greece. Hiya. and hasn't run in France, but should in not too much time, I don't think, because they've kept him ticking. He does seem really nice. He's lovely. Of the 5 horses we have, he's one of the ones I think could do something here. Yeah. Nice guy. Right. We're going to leave you go. Any other questions that anybody wants to ask? I don't know how many of you are out there, but thank you for watching, and a number of you will watch this later on. And if you come up with any questions, leave them in the comments. And please subscribe, ring the bell, and follow us along. See what these guys can do. Whoop. Oh, you're not used to that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, I scared you. Now he says fuck off. Okay. We have to reestablish our relationship now. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, it's okay. Right. Yeah, you shouldn't pet horses. They're not dogs. I know that. Not nice of me. Right. See you maybe next week, or we'll be posting other things. Check out our shorts. Leave questions, leave comments, and talk to you soon. Bye.